Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. And if by the end of the video today, I am unable to convince you that it is actually cheaper to buy your first home than to rent an apartment, I need you to leave a comment below. And if you can create some compelling evidence why I am wrong today, I will meet with you and potentially give you $2,000. I've got 5 good reasons today that we'll go over. But first, we discovered in a previous video that the median household income in the United States is about $83,000. The median home price is about $430,000 to $440,000. Using the math we used in the last video, using an FHA loan, assuming you have reasonable debts, you can afford a home. The median household income can afford the median household home. And if you can afford it, you should do it. And here's why. And the reason that people who own their homes are worth so much more than those who do not is equity. Equity gains over time. So equity is when your home appreciates and now it is worth more. And so you ostensibly have that much more money in your house. If you look at a $450,000 house, average market appreciation every year is about 4%. That means that $450,000 should appreciate 4%. Now, yeah, some years it's more, some years it's less. Recently, we've seen major gains, but overall, 4 years is a steady, healthy trend for appreciation. And that money is yours. So a $450,000 house with a 4% year-over-year appreciation, in the very first year of owning that house, your house has appreciated $18,000. That money is yours. At some point, you'll be able to potentially refinance, do a HELOC, which I'll go over in another video, or sell the home and cash out and make that equity real liquid cash for you. So in 2 years, at 4% appreciation, you have gained $36,000 in equity just by paying your mortgage payments. $36,000 in equity. Let's compare that to the renter who spent $2,000 a month and over the course of 2 years, spent $48,000. All of that money went to a landlord who potentially is or is not a good landlord, repairing things that need to be fixed or not. For 2 years, $48,000 is gone. You will never see that money again and there's nothing to show for it. So renting for 2 years cost you $48,000, but owning your home for 2 years potentially made you $37,000. And that is exactly why people who own their homes have a higher net worth than those who rent their homes. The median net worth of homeowners in the United States is $430,000. Do you know what the median net worth of renters is? It's $10,000. That means that homeowners roughly have about 40 times more net worth than those who rent. All right, if that argument wasn't enough, let's go on to number 2. All right, we've already established that owning your home is one of the biggest sources of wealth creation in America. Let's compare now 2 years of rent versus 2 years of owning. And I know, I understand why people are renting, especially right now in a high interest rate environment in 2025 and 2026. It's probably about, let's just say $2,000 to rent in an apartment right now on average. Trying to get a mortgage right now is about $1,000 more. It's probably closer to $3,000. So over the course of 2 years, you're gonna spend $48,000 renting. And over the course of 2 years, owning with a $3,000 mortgage payment, it's $72,000. Here's the big difference when it comes to those payments. You are making more of a payment each month towards owning your own home, but unlike renting, a portion of that payment is going right back into a savings account for you. It is going to your principal balance. And unfortunately, most of your payments in the very first part of your loan go towards interest. But I'll run over why that actually is helpful later. But even a small amount of that $3,000 is gonna go towards principal. Let's just say it's $200. That $200 is going back towards you. When you rent, you never see any of that $2,000 ever again. So while renting is potentially cheaper right now, when you own your home over the course of 24 months, 2 years, let's just say only $200 went towards principal, you are getting back $4,800 because that money went towards your piggy bank, your house, your principal payment. So $0 from renting and potentially a close to $5,000 by owning. That did not include the $32,000 in equity gains, right? So I'm building up here so you guys can see the final number at the end. Okay, reason number 3. This one is a little bit more nuanced and you're gonna wanna talk to your CPA or your accountant about this. But most people don't know this, and that your interest that you pay on your mortgage payment throughout the year is tax deductible. You can write it off at the end of the year, meaning more money back into your pocket. So let's just say you pay about $18,000 in interest in a year, and you are in the 24% tax bracket. So that could save you, let's do the math, 18,000 times 24%. That's about $4,320 that goes back to you at the end of the year, right? You get to write that off. You don't pay it to the government. Instead, it is money that goes back into your pocket. That's thousands of dollars. Renters get none of those federal tax breaks. And if you have more questions, you can check out mortgage-info.com. Reason number 4, housing costs for renters have been rising and quickly recently. So owning gives you predictability. Your mortgage payment will stay the same. Your principal and interest never change. Sometimes your taxes and insurance can, but those numbers are marginal, and sometimes they go down. Whereas rent almost always goes up. When we look at the US average rent, in 2020, the average rent was $1,185 per month. Flash forward 5 years to 2025, the average rent is $1,650. That's more than a 30% increase in just a few years. Owning your home means your payments stay the same. You know exactly what to expect every month. You can budget for it. You don't have to worry about the landlord coming up with some crazy rental increase at the end of the year. There's just sort of a mental strain that happens with renting and not knowing what your financial situation is going to be. I'm gonna go into reason number 5 pretty quickly here, because you've got financial stability with mortgage payments, but on top of that, you also have an asset that if you put money into, it will also add to your appreciation. Whereas let's say you're in an apartment and you want it to look nicer. So you do new carpet, you maybe paint, add in some new fixtures. That money just went to the landlord for him for improvements, probably helped his property value increase, and you never saw a penny of that. But when you own your own home, you have stability. You know who's gonna fix things. It's not gonna be somebody who may or may not show up. It has to be you, which some people feel overwhelmed by, but at least you know that you can rely on yourself. But if you decide to make improvements to your house and you decide to put money into it, that money could compound. And let's say you put a new kitchen in and it's cost you $25,000, but your equity increases by 50. You get your money back. Now, I want to wrap things up today by basically running the numbers for you. We talked a little bit about how equity gains are going to add more value to you. You get a tax write-off. You're also paying your principal, whereas in rent, you're not getting any of that money back. You've got stability, and if any type of improvements happen to the property, you'll see more value come out of that. But I want to give you the final numbers today, which I think capture the whole point of this video. All right, let's put a bow on this. We had 2 people. One rented, one bought. Same timeline, 2 years. What happened? Over 2 years, the homeowner gained $36,720 in equity. Let's say they got $200 towards principal each month. Over 2 years, that's $4,000, $800 that went back into their piggy bank. And then the tax savings were about $4,320. Adding all of that up, $45,840 went back into the homeowner's pocket over 2 years. Yes, they paid $72,000 in mortgage payments over 2 years. But if you subtract that gain back from the $72,000, the actual cost, it only cost them $26,160. Now let's look at the renter. Their monthly rent was lower, it's $2,000. So over the course of the 2 years, they spent about $48,000. How much equity did the renter build? How much tax savings? And how much in appreciation? $48,000 gone forever. Bye. All right, let's line this up. So the homeowner's net cost over 2 years is $26,160. The renter's total cost was $48,000. What's the difference? $21,840. It's gonna cost you almost $22,000 more to rent than it would be to buy. Here's something that renters rarely think about. Owning a home acts a little bit like a forced savings plan. Every payment builds equity, and that becomes wealth that you can pass along to your kids or use for your future goals. It is the single most powerful tool towards building long-term, meaningful wealth. All right, where are you all right now? Do you own? Do you buy? Are you thinking about it? If you need help figuring out how to make buying work in your situation, make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to go over that in all of my videos, including ways to save thousands of dollars. But I'm also available to you for a personal call. If you guys want to talk about how to get into the market, I'm here for you to sit down. Thank you all for joining me today. And like I meant it in the beginning, if I didn't convince you today, let me know. I look forward to talking to you.